Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower classes, social slime, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air. Fuck them back, it's only fun. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries lie to your face, fight and die. Cause God forgives. Buying time, killing people next in line. Lower classes, social slide, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. See their shit, force a bear. Fuck them back, that's only fair. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape, they burn the kids. No one makes countries lie to your face, fight and die. Cause God forgives. Yeah. Coming back around again.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ron Stevens. It's a game on right here on UCY.tv, and it is June the 2nd, 2016. And, oh, there's the chat showed up finally. Hot damn. I've been looking for that thing. Anyways, I see the chat. Beautiful. That works out well because I want to start the show today with something that really makes you want to puke. Our global puppet, Prime Minister, raises the pride flag at Parliament Hill for the very first time. MPs from all federal parties watched as the flag was raised for the first time on the Hill. Trudeau will make history when he becomes the first sitting prime minister to attend gay pride parades. I guess it's just a pride flag now because you got transgenders and they don't even know what the hell they are anymore. Anyways, this is Canadian Press. The pride flag flew on Parliament Hill on Wednesday in a historic all-party show of support to mark the start of the month celebrating Canada's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had the honor of raising the distinctive rainbow banner on the Hill for the first time at celebration, attended by MPs from all federal parties, as well as dozens of onlookers. Just like all federal parties, members of all federal parties are members of the UNPA, the United Nations Parliamentary Assembly Group, wanting a global UN parliamentary system, which of course is the global parliament, which supersedes your government, so-called government. So it was a celebration attended from all parties, or by all parties, and members of all parties, as well as dozens of onlookers. Get that? Dozens of onlookers. Dozens of onlookers. In other words, nobody showed up for the damn thing. Hardly. Because we had dozens of onlookers. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been automatic. A lot of people fought for a long time for this day, and for many days it led up to this day to happen. That's some gobbledygook from the Prime Minister there. And we got pictures here. And I'm going to actually throw the video into the chat because, well, it needs to happen. The fact that MPs from across the political spectrum attended sends a significant message, he added. Canada is united in its defense of rights and in standing up for LGBTQ rights. This is what we are truly celebrating today, he said to cheers and applause under a hot, late spring sun. Trudeau said there is still more work to do, pointing to a bill introduced by his government last month to strengthen transgender rights following several attempts by private members to do so under past governments. Trudeau will make more history this month when he becomes the first sitting prime minister to attend Pride parades. Now, he's attended them before. We have a picture of him and Kathleen Wynne and Levine, I think his name was, who got busted for child porn. But he was also in education, working on the new curriculum, the new sex ed for little children. So it was a wonderful little picture of Trudeau with the gay flag draped over his lap, and Wynne looking on to the gay pride parade with her education guy working on the sex ed thing, Levine, who got busted for child porn. What a beautiful family picture. Wednesday's event was the first time the pride flag has flown on Parliament Hill. It was raised on the West Lawn after 6 weeks of negotiations led by Edmonton MP Randy Boissonnault, who said the idea was suggested in conjunction with the two-day conference on LGBT rights currently taking place in Ottawa. He said he was given just 48 hours notice that raising the flag would be permitted and paid tribute to the fact that he had support from all parties in the House to make it happen. He said the fact the flag was raised sends a crucial signal. Yeah, that this so-called country is in some serious badass trouble. It says that this is a government, this is a parliament that believes in inclusion and diversity, he said. Earlier in the day, Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne was on hand at Queen's Park, down in Toronto, to raise the rainbow flag. On Tuesday, Toronto Mayor John Tory helped kick off the city's first ever Pride Month with a flag-raising ceremony at City Hall. Over the weekend, the federal Conservatives took their own step forward on LGBT issues by dropping language from their policy handbook opposing same-sex marriage. Trudeau mocked their conversation, noting it was coming more than a decade after the Liberal government had made same-sex marriage legal. Well, better late than never, said Trudeau. Only 3 flags are allowed to fly from the Peace Tower itself, the Maple Leaf, and 2 banners belonging to the Governor-General and the Queen. There's a courtesy pole that's used to fly flags for visiting dignitaries, but a special one was set up for Pride event. A very special pole was set up for the Pride event. Read more about Justin Trudeau and then puke. Now, I got busted over on Facebook again today. I put this particular piece in to Facebook, and I wrote a little note about it. And my wife, I read it to her, and she said, "You're gonna end up in Facebook jail again." I go, "Why?" I didn't say anything. And this is all I said. I put the picture of the flag in there. Join Prime Minister Trudeau's MPs and senators of all parties as we raise the pride flag on Parliament Hill for the first time in Canadian history. And that was yesterday. Well, that was a picture that I just read from. But all I wrote was Trudeau, MPs and senators and MPs from all parties are members of the UNPA pushing for UN corporate world government. And I went on to say, you want to fly flags on the Hill? Try a straight pride flag. Try government by the people for the people pride flag. How about a First Nations pride flag as a apology from the corporation known as Canada that stole the land and killed so many innocents and has held them in abject poverty since? That ain't likely going to happen. They are more likely to hoist a global UN globalist corporate depopulation flag in honor of Monsanto, GMO, Big Pharma, chemtrails, vaccines, global warming, LGBT, etc. What percentage of the population does the government actually represent? 0. They represent the corporation known as Canada, the UN, and its organizations. The people of these lands are being held in servitude as surety for debt. Time we take back the land from these lying, corporate, globalist, ass-kissing bastards who are selling off our assets to the globalists. A note to the LBGT folks. The government doesn't give a rat's ass about you. You're being used as useful idiots to further the depopulation agenda. And somehow, I don't know how, that got me banned, or not banned, thrown back in Facebook detention till Sunday. It seems I no sooner get out of their little prison system than I get put back in it again. And to keep sending you notes, if you think that maybe you're in jail for a wrong reason, give us a call, we'll let you know. But they never write back. It's kind of like the government, you know. I call the government, they say, can you write us a letter? I said, I've written you all kinds of letters, but nobody ever responds to the damn things. This is our wonderful government, I guess it is, that we get to deal with on a daily basis. Now, where did I put that thing so I can stuff it into the... It's so freaking nice to see that chat. I didn't see it the whole on Tuesday's show. So it's nice to see it back. Then we'll go over to UCY here. And if you're listening to this show and you're not in the chat, jump in the chat. Some very intelligent people hang out in the chat. I can't even talk today. In the chat. And you might hook up with some good people, get some good conversations going, pass some stuff around, and have some fun. Oh, man. Anyways, I still haven't went and got my password back yet. I have to punch something in there. Anyways, you got to watch the video. I mean, our prime minister is an absolute tool. And then they have, it's like, he's in the video. He's going, we've got members here from the Conservative Party and the NDP Party and the Green Party and the Bloc Québécois Party. Yep. Now, if I go to the UN, I'll probably find that it's Gay Pride, probably great, or Pride Month over at the UN. I wouldn't doubt it, because we're having, I mean, UN Pride Month, or not UN Pride Month, but Pride Month in Canada, Pride Month. A month of this nonsense? Like, I don't know why normal people put up with any of this garbage. I really don't understand why people put up with the garbage they put up with from our so-called governments. The governments are a company, and we're the poor idiots that allowed ourselves to be made surety for the debt. You know, when they did the big bailout back, what was it, 2008 or whenever, stateside, who got stuck with the bill? The people. Why did the people get stuck with the bill? Because you're surety for the debt. You're always on the hook for the debt. They can spend whatever, they can rip you off, bail themselves out. You take the licking from the hit they put on you, then they bail themselves out, and you're on the hook for the bailout. This has to change. But this is going on in every country in the world. We are slaves of the corporation that refers to itself as it refers itself to it as a country. We should be embarrassed, if nothing else. You know, here's a video. There's some interesting stuff in this, especially if you're a Canadian. It's called Alternative Canadian History. Now, none of these links work off of this thing. But there's some interesting stuff in here which just verifies again or qualifies that Canada was founded as a company. It's still a company. They keep telling people that Canada gained its independence from Britain. It did not. The Queen is still sitting as a head of state. So at no point has this ever been an independent country. But I'm sure that a lot of this, I don't know how this would relate to Americans, but it's worth taking a boo at anyways. There's some pretty interesting stuff in here on, how they register you and how it works through. So I had it. It didn't copy for me, so we'll try it again. And I swear to God, I got the CIA inside of my freaking computer anymore. It's doing weird things all the time. Now, did that link even pop in there? Oh, yeah, there it is. There's some pretty interesting stuff in that particular video. I've never seen this one before. And I can't, the site that it came from doesn't exist. It says in YouTube that this video and the site was taken down, and somebody reposted it. So it's worth gives a pretty good insight to basically what we are. And in some point in that, I don't know if it's back near the end of the video, somebody was talking about, so like if you don't register your kid or something, then you don't have to put up with any of their stuff. And he says, yeah, well, how can you operate without a bank card? So they give a little bit of a thing in there on how you register your kid instead of not registering it. You register to you and you keep the deed. And therefore, at that point, you can create a bank. So I haven't had much of a chance to look into it. Give it a boo anyways and see what you think of it. Pretty interesting. Now, the G20, we've all seen the G20 meetings where it's, I think it was at Seattle where they had the noise cannons and everything. It was a freaking ridiculous mess. And the G20 meeting we had in Toronto was a ridiculous mess. And, I said way back then, I said, what is it? It's this meeting of 20 global leaders. Yeah. So, okay, that's all well and good, maybe. But what I said way back then was all of the media attention was on the police, on the protesters. There was no media that I saw about what the hell was actually going on at the meeting. Just 20 global leaders meeting for a discussion. Okay. But that's how they spelt it out for us. Now, if I can find what I'm looking for here. Man, I don't know why this computer's running. I got so many links open. It's ridiculous. Or tabs open on here. Here it is. Okay. So, the group of 20, they called the G20. It's a group of 20. And Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, European Union, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States. That's the members. Now, did the leaders of each of these countries, did Harper from Canada phone up the guy in Argentina, and did Obama or Bush or whoever it was when this thing got started phone up the guy in Russia or Saudi Arabia? Hey, let's say we all get together and make a group of 20. We'll be 20 global leaders. We'll meet every now and again and we'll discuss shit. And it's good. What we'll do is we'll go into major cities in each of the countries, and then we will beat the shit out of the people in the countries and arrest them and pepper spray them and sound cannon them and whatever the hell else we want to do to them, just to let them know we're there. Sounds like fun, guys? Yeah, let's do it. It'd be a bit of a different thing than starting a war. So where did this G20 come from? Is that how it came about? Because I don't recall the media ever telling me where the group of 20 or the G20 came from. It was always spelled out that ever I heard that it was just a group of 20 leaders that would meet to discuss stuff. So where exactly did it come from? Timothy Geithner is a co-founder of the G20. Wait a minute. I thought this was a group of 20 international leaders that got together for meetings. Timothy Geithner is the co-founder of this thing? Now, when I go look up Timothy Geithner in Wikipedia, it doesn't mention it. I'll back that up a minute. Okay, he was involved in the bank bailout. Let's go through this crap. Better still, throw the crap into the chat. I'll back up all the tabs, get back to the chat. So Timothy Geithner was a co-founder of the G20. which works out for me because, I was always saying that this is just, all this is the global handlers, the finance boys coming into major cities, and all it is really what I saw it as was the verification that the countries were under enough of a police state that we can go ahead and do the financial trips we want to do. Okay, and that's where this was setting up for the guaranteed income. Okay, because the plan is that all of the resources of your country goes into these guys' hands, and then through the United Nations, who's been pushing the guaranteed income, adequate housing, adequate schooling, adequate water, adequate electricity, that we will divvy out to you clowns, but we decide what's adequate. And that all has to do with the depopulation plan, because they're going to tell you there isn't adequate because there's too many people on the planet. So we got a guy like Geithner, who is co-founding this outfit called the G20, the Group of 20, who is telling our Prime Minister stood there, Stephen Harper stood there in a media scrum and specifically stated that it's a loss of national sovereignty. The G20 meeting in Toronto is a loss of national sovereignty. The media never reported on that. They were busy, oh, look, somebody's burning a police car. Absolutely frickin' ridiculous. Now, the G20. Now, what am I looking for? Why did that jump me here? Oh, did I lose Geithner now? What the hell's going on here? Where did I lose Geithner at? This is my computer's just having a spaz. You have to excuse me. All right. We'll have to do it this way, I guess. Okay, we have another co-founder here. Well, let's do this guy first. Come on. Let's do this guy first. Timothy Geithner. What the hell's he attached to? This is the guy that co-founded the G20. Other current Timothy Geithner relationships: Council on Foreign Relations, Director, Hamilton Project, Advisor, Council Member, the International Rescue Committee, Director, the Warburg Pincus, President, or Pincus, whatever that is. Okay, now it was Warburg in the 1950 Senate hearings that said we're going to have a world government, whether you like it or not, we're going to get it by conquest or consent. And Geithner is one of the co-founders of the G20. Past relationships: Barack Obama administration, Treasury Secretary, Economic Club of New York, Federal Open Market Committee, Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Alan Greenspan, group of 20, group of 30. Inter-American Development Bank, International Monetary Fund, International Rescue Committee, Kissinger Associates, Inc., National Academy Foundation, Partnership of New York City. Some of these names I don't know. The Presidential Task Force on the Auto Industry, the RAND Corporation, the Trilateral Commission, U.S. Department of the Treasury, White House State Dinner, World Economic Forum attendee, and he's also a Bilderberger. But we don't get this information in the media. They'll say, now the meeting is going to be held in Seattle or Toronto or wherever else they hold these things. This will be a meeting of the 20 global leaders, co-founded by Geithner and Summers. And this is a list of what Geithner and Summers are up to. And they co-founded this and somehow coerced these other people into attending and becoming members of. Okay, all of these countries are members of. Okay, you got the group of 20 in the center. You got 20 members down below. You got Geithner on the one side and Lawrence Summers on the other side as co-founders. Now, how bent is that? So, what is Mr. Summers up to? This is so bent it's ridiculous. So there you have it. You have the group of 20 and Timothy Geithner and Lawrence Summers. So let's see what Lawrence Summers is up to and attached to. Holy crap. Look at this shit, man. So here we are again, and I'll have to do this a different way. Let me try it this way. This is really messed up, this computer. Okay. What the what? Oh, here we are. Okay, let's information about Lawrence Summers. Summers is a nephew of Paul A. Samuelson, MIT professor. Areas of interest: nonprofits, education, business, healthcare, politics, and government. Personal social network. Much of Summers' muckety comes from political connections. Let's see. What do we got here? American Corporate Partners, Advisory Council member. Alliance Partners, Senior Advisor. Horowitz, Special Advisor. Center for Science and International Affairs, Board member. Bretton Woods Committee, member. Center for the American Progress, Senior Fellow. Center for the Global Development, Chairman. Citigroup, Inc., Consultant. Council on Foreign Relations, member. Group of 20, co-founder. Group of 30, member. Hamilton Project, Advisory Council member. So both of these guys have something to do with the Hamilton Project. Harvard University professor, former president, International Crisis Group board member, Lending Club director, NASDAQ consultant, One Campaign director, Partnership for Public Service, advisory governor, the Peters Institute for International Economics director, the Social Network, Trilateral Commission, and Expo Limited. Summers past relationships, Barack Obama, the Brookings Institution. A lot of these stuff will be the same, I'm sure. Mount Sinai Medical Center, National Economic Council, Obama, Biden, excuse me, learn to read, Economic Advisory Team. I don't read American real good, eh? Peterson Institute for International Economics, Presidential Task Force on the Auto Industry, same outfits. Teach for America, Director, that could be your new math, your Common Core. U.S. Directory, Department of the Treasury, Elizabeth Warren, and a few other things, World Economic Forum. So these guys, who, with all these connections, have the power to walk into countries all over the place, bring all these leaders with them, and I swear to God that what I was seeing back in 2010 in Toronto was exactly, I mean, this just verifies what I thought I was seeing. I thought that this was nothing more than the global international money man coming into the countries to see if they were ready yet. Because all of this police stuff was a setup. We had provocateurs running around in Toronto starting trouble. And this was to see if the country had enough police state mindset in it that these global money people could say, yep, let's get her done. Let's do it. And this is the kind of garbage that's going on. Now, while I'm here, let's go find out who's involved with the Group of Seven. I mean, it's really disgusting. I mean, this ought to be starting this ought to be, I mean, people got to get a little upset about some of this stuff. The G7. Now, who's involved in this thing? The global economy is at the head of the thing here. The United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, France, Canada, Japan, United States. Now, Jane Hartley, I don't know. She's the chairman and the CEO of the G7. Alan Blinder is the vice chairman. I don't know who these guys are. And Giulio Tremonti is the chairman. He's from Italy. He's the Minister of Economy and Finance out of Italy. And we have this thing up here, the global economy. Now, I don't know what the hell this global economy thing is about. Let's go find out. I mean, I encourage everybody, go to Muckaty, man. Go to Muckaty and find out what the hell is going on here. So, the global economy in the middle, we have the stock exchanges, we have the global networks, the World Bank, the G5, the credit rating agencies, Bretton Woods Conference, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, and then the G7. I really, really encourage people to use this. It's a hell of a tool. It really, truly is. So I'm going to look around in here for a bit for my own sake. And I encourage people to do the same. You know, there's no point anybody talking about politics. I mean, if you're talking about politics, you still got your head too far up your ass to understand what's even going on. Right? We're so far past talking about politics, you know. You don't hear me talking about politics, right, left, good, bad. The only time I'll talk about politics is to rake somebody's face over the coals, like that idiot stick they call a prime minister in this country. Okay? These guys never worked for anybody but themselves. Okay? It's a big club, same club they used to beat you over the head all day. Well, there's only a few of them. Why are we allowing these people to beat on us all the time? Why don't we just go and grab the club and give them a good swat up the back of the head with it, knock some sense in them, or knock them out? Either way will work for me. But this has to stop, this nonsense of this political garbage. Does anybody honestly think that if Donald Trump... I mean, my money's still on Hillary, okay? When you look at the connections to Hillary Clinton, and who she's connected to, and who stands to gain, you see very quickly what the game is. Now, or if unless there's been a U-turn going on here somewhere that they want to play a different game with, who knows on that one. But the fact is that the connections to I mean, the Clintons are freaking everywhere. You can't put most anything into Muckety. You put Clinton into the Clinton Foundation into Muckety here. You're gonna. I mean, it'll blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. Okay, I'm just interested here on who the hell's all involved in this group of 7. Now, there's a group of 32. Not 32, also a group of 30. There's a group of 100, I think, as well. I think there's a group of 300. So I don't know who this Jane Hartley is, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Now, Jimmy Carter is also attached to just a gutload of this stuff. So this Jane Hartley, again, nonprofits, education, business, employment, politics, and government. Has a contributor to Democratic committees and campaigns. Let's see, 820 Park Avenue, New York, co-op owner. Council on Foreign Relations, obviously. France, U.S. Ambassador to France. Barack Obama presidential campaign fundraiser. Jimmy Carter Aid, Corporation for National Community Service. Democratic Power Couples, she's a member of, or listed as. Economic Club of New York, trustee, G7, CEO and chairman. Jimmy Carter Administration, John F. Kay School of Government, New York School Trustee, Observatory Group LLC, and so on and so forth. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And there's a whole list of contributions here that she's attached to. Okay, so who is Alan Blinder? So, when they talk about, come on, open this up for me. God, my computer's having a heart attack. So who's this Alan Blinder dude? Bretton Woods committee member, Council on Foreign Relations director, the Hamilton Project, Observatory Group, Princeton University, Federal Reserve Board, same outfits these guys are all attached to. And our governments, our so-called leaders of our governments, the people that people vote for, are nothing but freaking puppets. Puppets. Doesn't matter who you put in there. I mean, it's like this spider comes and wraps itself around them real quick. So what is this Hamilton Project here? Oh, there's Bernanke's involved in it. Oh, let's see. Alan Blinder is a friend of Ben Bernanke. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've seen this Hamilton Project everybody have brought up so far, so let's go find out what the Hamilton Project is. Hamilton Project. Let's see if I know any of these people. Nope. So it's attached to the Hamilton Project is the economic policy project for the Brookings Institution. All right. And 32 advisory council members. All right. Let's see who these people are. You know, if you know, NBC and I don't know, say, am I gonna have to open this one up? It's not gonna. Okay, I just have to do it this way. Why won't that one open? Oh, here we go. Yeah, you got to go through these names. I mean, I recognize very few of these names in here. You know, off of this Hamilton Project, which is coming off of the Brookings Institution. Yeah, bloody amazing stuff. All right, okay, who's the G30? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a group of 30. There's Geithner again. Paul Volcker. So, group of 30, we have Geithner as a member. Volcker is the chairman. And 18 members. Who are these 18 members? There's that Lawrence Summers guy again. Mark Carney, who was the Bank of Canada, who went to the World Bank, I think it was. So this is your leaders, okay? Your so-called leaders. It doesn't matter who gets elected, okay? It matters not who gets elected. I mean, or elected. Who said that anyways? Rothschild, right? I don't give a damn who you elect. We control the money. We control the money. Period. They control the money. Now, I don't know who this guy is, Gerald Corrigan, who is the special assistant. Is it special assistant? Unofficial advisor. How can you have an unofficial advisor? Okay, that's all same. Mark Carney. I'm really interested to see who this dickweed's attached to, because he was the Bank of Canada head before I think he went to he did go to the World Bank. So Mark Carney, who was the head of the Bank of Canada, there we go over there. He was the governor of Bank of Canada, and he's also the governor of Bank of England, member of the Bretton Woods Committee, managing director of Goldman Sachs, the speaker for the World Economic Forum 2014, foundation board member for the World Economic Forum, and a member of the Group of 30. That's really sad. What's on Oprah today, everybody? I don't care. I want to watch Pickers later tonight. Maybe a hockey game or a baseball game or something I can discuss with my friends tomorrow at work. That's what they've done to people. So the Bank of Canada is the Central Bank of Canada, and there's a list here of central banks. Bank for International Settlements, Timothy Hodgins, special advisor to the governor. And then we have Canada Central Bank. So let's see. Let's buzz over to the central banks. You can almost turn this thing into a board game. Holy crap. Okay, so these are all the central banks. All listed here. And Central Bank of Kuwait, Kenya, Libya, Brazil, Bolivia, Uruguay, Federal Reserve System, European Central Bank, Ethiopia, they're all in here. People's Bank of China, Reserve Bank of Australia, Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan, State Bank of Pakistan, State Bank of Vietnam. I mean, and the people in each of these countries with a central bank are all surety for the debt. Good old debt slaves. Let me see here. Let's see what. Let's see here. If we can find a bank here that we don't normally deal with. The Bank of Central African States. What's that sucker attached to? Back to the central banks. So, it's the central bank for Central African Republic, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Chad, all attached to the central banks. And the central banks, I guess I'll go back to the Vatican and Rothschild and the boys, and leaves the rest of us holding the debt card. Trying to find Australian here if I could, or there's so freaking many of them, it's nuts. I can't find that. Well, never mind that for now. All right, let's see if I can find a group of 100 here. See if it's listed. It's not listed. All right. Group of 300. Let's see if we can dig that one out. Because these groups exist. But I don't know if it's going to list it here. No, it's not going to list it here. Damn. Let me see. I just love this damn thing. I don't get to play with this as much as I would love to play with it. We're almost out of time here. Anyway, somebody has to design. Somebody, before I get off air here, has to design a white pride flag or something, or a blue collar worker flag, or boots on the ground flag, or some kind of frickin' flag that we can take to our appropriate federal government lawn and raise it. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with, because it's just about quitting time here, I'm going to leave you with the mapping for Hillary. And you can open these things up if you just click on it, and a drop down will come and you can just open that up. Don't click on it just at once or the whole damn thing will open. But you can see if you want to vote for Hillary, or get some rope and find Hillary, your call. But yeah, we'd ought to grow some hemp and grow some rope. And I mean, it's absolutely pathetic when you look at how absolutely few people have us in the slave situation that we're in. It's absolutely astounding that heads haven't rolled long before this. I'm not into violence, but something's got to happen. We cannot allow these people to take complete and total control over all our resources and then turn around. Yeah, a hemp rope would be good. It gives you that, your forefathers feeling, because I'm sure our forefathers are rolling in their graves right now, trying to get the hell out so they can come give us a slap on the back of the head so they smarten us up. So grow some hemp, make some rope. But if we get them, we don't want. I don't want to see a big shoot 'em up war. I don't think it's necessary. But these people are stealing all the resources from your lands or so-called country. Then they're going to put it in a global trust and then feed back to you nothing. You think you're in slave land now? Just give these guys a little bit more time. Anyways, that was fun. I'm back. Revolution Radio, 10 o'clock Saturday night. I'm back. UC Live Sunday at noon. Everybody have a great day. Get angry. Take care.